Hello, my name is Eden Fisher, and I will be talking for you my sports science report. So, the game that we will be focusing on is a game of N-ball. N-ball is a mixture, in my opinion, of handball and ultimate frisbee. The idea of the game is to pass the ball from one player to another around your team into an end zone. By getting it into the end zone, you get a point. You can run it into the end zone and pass it into the end zone. The way you lose the ball is by being tugged or getting a pass intercepted. The game will start with two people from each team jumping in the ball competing in the middle. Typically, this is like how a basketball game would start. N-ball is an endurance game and it'll last about 80 minutes. With 4 quarters of 20 minutes, it's 8 players a side. Your pitch is 15 metres wide by 25 metres long. Again, players can run with it, pass the ball in any direction, do what they want to get into the end zone. After losing possession, the team will have a throw in from the sideline next to where they lost it. So, what we're going to be doing is going to be using key performance indicators, known as KPIs, on an area of the game that we think they need to improve. So the areas I'm focusing on is why a team isn't scoring points, specifically the Bibs team when I watch them. So I watch the footage and I use my KPIs, the ones I set up, to see why they're losing the ball. So, as I said, I went back over the game footage and I wrote down every time an attacking play was attempted, that was a clear attacking play. And if it was a pass into the scoring zone, I would state that on the data, state whether it's successful or not, and I'd do the same for running it into the end zone. So as you can see on the side, we have the skills, which is passing and running. We have the area of the pitch. Zone 3 is the closest to the score zone. Zone 2 is the middle of the pitch, and Zone 1 is your own defending zone. And the position on the pitch is whether you're in the middle of the pitch, the left-hand side of the pitch, or the right-hand side of the pitch. Again, lost ball is why they lost the ball, if they lost the ball, so the interception or a tag. But if it was successful, I'd state it was a catch or a clean run into the end zone. So, as you can see, I've collected my research. Altogether, they had 13 chances to score and only managed to get 4 through. And every single one of them was a pass, which shows that one of the areas that they're struggling on is creating space for the runs, but also they had 9 passes all game. So in 9 passes, they only scored less than half of them, which isn't a good statistic for any team at all. So what I've shown you here in the data is that over this side, the passes, only 4 got through, and obviously the unsuccessful here, the pass and the run, and the amount on the side. If we come down to outcome again, every successful pass was also done in the final zone, zone 3, which means if they're in the zones a bit further back, they don't have the ability to see the passes there or create space to create the passes to give them a chance to score the points. Also, any run they attempted from any zone was all unsuccessful, which means that they was just running for the sake of it instead of using their teammates. So what I found from my research is that they need to look more and see what's in front of them to get them attacking plays. So I've created a session plan or an activity that will help improve this. We'll have a warm up, just stretch the players getting ready. We'll have a drill to work on passing and accurately. On this drill, it'll also work on dodging and evading for running the ball in, and we'll finish it off by bringing it into a game situation. For my work, I've used the Gibbs theory, so the reflective cycle. I've described the activity, I've thought on my feelings, and I've decided why I've gone with that. I've evaluated why. I've come to my conclusion and I put that into action. So in my session plan, we're going to warm up to loosen the joints and stuff. This can be something as basic as doing shuttle runs or doing dynamic stretches and things like that. Help warm up the muscles, help stop injuries for a session that we're going to do. So as we noticed, we need to work on passing the ball forwards and increasing our scoring opportunities. So we're going to do this by a drill which is called build up. So we'll start off with an 8-team attack against 1 defender. And all they have to do is get that ball into the end zone without losing it. So it seems easy at first, just 8v1, they've just got to find the space, get around that player, dodge them, pass the ball, go through. After they've scored 1 point, we increase the numbers, we put a second man in, make it 2 versus 8. Again, they've got to work, got to look for the space and attack. We'll keep building this up till we've got 8 versus 8. Because the idea of it is for them to start to notice where the space is, what works, what doesn't work, and create situations where every time they create where they've got more attackers than defenders to score the points. Also, this will help them because teams working on the attacking zone to score more points, they might want to slow the ball down to see the space instead of rushing everything. So one thing I noticed is that they kept rushing all their attacks, which were making them lose the ball. So if they slow down a little bit and have a look at time and then speed up when they need to, it will create issues, create the attack and bring points in for them, which is what they need. You can then bring this into a game, finish off with an 8v8 game for 10 minutes, and see how they take the ideas that you've done in session of creating these overlapping situations and bringing them into the game. But one problem that could come with playing at a quick pace is that they get tired after the first 20 minutes. Because being an endurance sport, it's 80 minutes, not just 20. So they need to learn to capitalise their energy and use it more in attacking plays so that when they play about and they're using the ball and moving it, they haven't got that issue. So I decided that we was going to show you an actual nutrition plan on how an athlete should use their nutrition to improve themselves. So our athlete will be an 80 kg male. We'll go through what they should eat during a day, a game day specifically, with their 3 p.m. kickoff. They should have about 1,500 to 2,500 calories in that day. We found that out by the dietary guidelines, and we used an app called Nutritics to get all the calories and stuff and how much calories is in each meal that they will be eating. So for breakfast, we'll get up and have breakfast at 9 a.m. Again, it's an endurance sport, so they'll need a high carbs food to give them lots of energy to drag on through the day. So 2 boiled eggs, scrambled or poached eggs with 2 slices of bread would be an ideal breakfast because it's filled with carbs, got a bit of protein in your eggs, which will give our athlete energy and enough energy to get them through the morning and ready to start warming up or travelling to their game. In this instance, it will be a home game, so there won't be much travelling. They'll just have the food to warm up and get their bodies ready. This will come to just under 200 calories, which is good because it's not high fat, high calorie. It's a nice impact meal, which is small in calories, but also filled with enough nutrients to get them through and give them a good amount of carbs to get through the day. We also need to make sure they drink enough, because in one half of handball, you lose up to 32 ounces of water. And handball and endball are similar games, as I said. So we need to make sure they drink enough to take in the correct bodily fluids of their day, but also including the game as well. So they're going to need at least an extra 64 ounces of water a day in a game day to make sure they get through with enough energy. If we drink too much, it could cause problems to overdrinking and make the athlete unable to perform to the best of their abilities. So we need to make sure that we have the drinking set up correct so that they're not overdrinking and becoming overhydrated and not able to perform at the best of their abilities, or not becoming underhydrated and dehydrated and struggling then to perform where they need to. So we'll have dinner around 12 p.m. Again, we need energy, a kick-off at 3 p.m. We've still got the carbs in our body, slow release. We need slow release carbs for a great sporting performance to be able to have the energy for a full game. So the best thing to have will be brown rice and chicken. And this is because brown rice and chicken's a protein, it'll help build the muscles, start getting the muscle fibers breaking down, it'll start getting them ready to do sports, which is what we need. We need the muscles and body ready to compete. Brown rice, again, is high carb. It'll slowly burn through the day, so it'll give them energy coming up to the game and getting ready for their warm-up, which should start around 1 p.m, 2 p.m, depending on how they want to warm up. And again, we need to be drinking the right amount, over 30 ounces in this meal, to make sure we cover for the amount of days water that we need, plus the 64 ounces we're going to need during the game. So we'll have a snack around 2:30 p.m. Our snack will need to be quick release energy to give us energy this game, but also low fibre so that it can drag out throughout the game. So it just stays in the game time, so it needs to be low fibre carbohydrates, but it also needs to be able to use straight away to give us full impact energy. So low fibre carbohydrates are great energy givers 30 minutes before a game. So if we have this at 2:30, 3 p.m. kickoff, it'll start kicking in and getting us ready to start fully working bang on kickoff. And a bagel is a really good low carb low fibre carb. So this will be a good snack, it'll give you lots of energy, and it's only 250 calories. So it's not high calories, we're staying within our calorie band, and we're going to be burning the energy that we need to burn to get through. So after a game, we're going to be tired, we're going to drink lots of water, we're going to be having our tea around 6-7 p.m, depending on what time kickoff happens and things. And again, we'll need to eat foods now to replenish what we've just had. So we've just burnt our body's tired, we've run out of energy, our muscles will be worked. So we need to eat foods that's going to help replenish our muscles and our energy and increase our muscle repairs. So the best food for that would be chicken breast with mixed vegetables and brown rice, which is 402 calories. And the reason that'd be best is because protein in the chicken breast will help repair the muscles that you've used whilst doing the exercises. So our arms will be used a lot, our legs will be used a lot, so eating that protein will help the fat start rebuilding the muscles and start repairing them so they're not damaged. The mixed vegetables and brown rice, again, are good, healthy, nutritious dietary needs. It'll help our body function normally, and it'll also give us a bit more energy through the rest of the day, because again, we're going to have used lots of energy in the game, so we're going to be out of energy, so we're going to need to replenish that energy that we've used. So if we don't eat the brown rice and stuff, we've not used that energy. Plus, we're going to have lost minimum 64 ounces of fluids. So again, we're going to need to take that back in. So we're going to need to drink a good amount. Again, I'd recommend about 30 ounces of water to come back in and use that fluids. And just before bed, we're having a snack at about 9 p.m. This will be our last snack to give our energies, to give our bodies a chance to recover without overexerting itself. Saturated fats and sugars is good for this because the body has some energy. It'll give the body some energy to get us to bed, get us rested, and properly stretch out with a nice full day without feeling too drained. So a dairy milk bar will be perfect for this because it has fats. It'll give a small burst of energy to get to bed and give our bodies time to rest. Again, that's only 133 calories. So throughout the day, we would have eaten 1,700 calories, which is good because it means that we've eaten within our recommended amount, and we've got enough to supplement ourselves throughout the day to work towards our dietary needs. Here are the references that I've used for all my research today. And just a quick summary, we've gone over what the Endball game is and how we need to improve it, and how we need to improve specific areas of it, should I say. We've gone over what our KPIs are, attacking scenarios, how we're going to improve that, the game analysis we've used on how we've got our KPIs. We've also discussed sessions to improve the game. As we said, the build-up game, the bringing it into an actual game, the warm-up and things to get ready, and the food that will be needed throughout a game day, and the amount of meals and snacks that we'd need to make sure that we've got enough behind us to fight through the day and perform to the best of our abilities. Again, for the food, I've used Nutritics, so all the calories that I found on there and things, and all the foods on there is done through Nutritics. That is a technology that I'd recommend to use for any sporting exercises. And what we can see from that is no matter what endurance sport you use, the energy given from the different supplements that we found is excellent, and it's planned out for a full day from starting at 9 a.m. in the morning right through to 9 p.m, 10 p.m. at night. So it's over 12 hours, you played a game in the middle there, you're giving yourself enough energy, and you're covering for all the dietary needs that you also need as a normal human to function at 80 kg. So that has been my PowerPoint. Thank you for listening. I am Ian Fisher.